from. Okay, everybody. So before we get into our lesson today, I want to go over some changes and plans that I made up last Friday. This is a crazy wall of text, so I'm going to read it. And you all have this same information. I emailed it on Friday. Okay, so if you didn't see it, check it out later if you have any questions. Also, feel free to ask me or tell me if you have any questions. I'd love to go over it now. So, long story short, beginning today, I would like cameras on during class. Oh, hang on. Now my pen's not working. Of course. There we go. Hey.
Tiara,
Mhm.
one of your math students, said she couldn't get into your class and she needs to be resent the link because somehow it disappeared. She said email would be fine.
All right. Well, thank you for the information.
Yeah.
Appreciate
She's
it.
like, I could email them, but I don't know if you'll see it. And she wants to get to class. So.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I would like everyone to have their cameras on. So I want to see that you're in attendance and are taking notes, following along. If a student's camera is not turned on, it's going to count as an unexcused absence. Now, I know that some of you have been having your cameras off and you are totally following along. I understand that. I also know that other people have been not, right? They're checking into class, but they're not really doing anything, not trying to take notes, not following along, not doing the homework afterwards. So maybe this is a little harsh, but it's what we're going to do for now. I'd like everyone to have their cameras on. Any questions on that first point, please? Okay. And if you want to ask about it later, like in a private message, that's okay too. Okay, next up, chronic absences. So 2 consecutive unexcused absences. Unexcused. So this means if you just disappear and don't come 2 days in a row, will result in your removal from the class. We are covering a lot of material, and your presence and engagement is key to your success. If you cannot join the class for each scheduled meeting, barring a parent memo excusing the absence. So being sick is fine. Needing to go to the doctor or just miss because you're busy with your family is fine. But I need to hear from your parents if you're going to miss your class. A lot of you have been reaching out and telling me, hey, I've got an appointment or I'm busy with something with my little brothers or whatever. And I appreciate that. You guys are totally on it. And I thank you for doing that. Just continue doing that. But if you can have a parent write me an email or a phone call at the school, then I'm going to mark you as excused and it's no big deal. But if people are missing class and not reaching out to me and not having their parents reach out to me, that's going to count as an unexcused absence. Any questions or concerns? Please.
Josiah?
Tira, yes.
Yeah, I had something to say. So it's besides this.
Okay.
I was gonna ask you, is it possible that we can like do a separate Zoom check-in? Because I needed to go over or review some of my mastery tests on my math assignment.
Uh-huh. Yeah, tomorrow on Tuesday, I have an office hour that I've dedicated to just your group. So if you want to join me for that, we'll go over
Okay.
those questions then. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
Also, just a side note, there's also Brandon, and I know some of you have been meeting with Brandon. Brandon's our math intervention specialist, our tutor at this school. So for Tira and for all of you, feel free to also reach out to Brandon about math help as well. But I will be available tomorrow and Tuesdays, every Tuesday.
Okay.
Totally. So there's one last point here about daily homework. Now, before I read this, long story short is some of you have been working really hard and trying to keep pace with what I've been presenting. I am not trying to go so fast that I'm leaving everyone behind. However, I also need you all as students to try to engage with this and try to stay on pace in order for me to know, am I going too fast? Am I leaving people behind? Last week, I decided to kind of hit the brakes on new material and on new like homeworks so that we could practice our older subjects that I thought we needed more attention on, like domain and range, like plugging in a value and solving an equation for x or for a variable, um, like stuff like that. And that's all good. I want to not leave you all behind. I want you feeling strong and confident going forward. But part of that for me, especially in this Zoom format, is going to be getting feedback from you on a regular, daily, consistent basis. And that's where the homeworks come in. So I want everybody, let's see here. So far, we have only done homework in Edmentum mastery tests. I am going to implement more standardized, skills-based homework assignments that will be the same for every student. Students will copy down the homework questions. I'll keep it short, like 5 at the most. Copy down the homework questions at the end of each lesson, and then are responsible for submitting a clear photo of your homework on paper to me through Google Chat. So I'm basically going to replace a lot of our homeworks, instead of doing mastery tests where you're all getting different questions, with more to the point, honestly, smaller homework assignments that we'll do at the end of each class. So how will you know what the homework is? It's at the end of the class. How will you turn it in? I want you to take a picture with your phone and then send it to me through Google Chat. Today, on Monday, 10/11, we will all log in and access your Google Chat using your OFY account to practice this routine and confirm that you, every student, has access to it. Some of you have already done this, and some of you, most of you haven't. So I want to practice this with you in just a moment so you can connect to your Google Chat and then send me a message in it so that you can always chat with me there and send me your homework through there. Okay. Homework assignments are expected to be completed or attempted daily. So please try to do the homework questions that day. I'm going to try to continue tightening up my lessons so it doesn't go for an entire hour. I want to end it a little early so that way we have time to do our homework questions together. So that's something I need to work on for sure, is tightening up our lessons. I think it will be a little easier for me to do that because I'm going to kind of throw away those mastery tests for now. And we're not going to do those anymore for now. I want to tighten it up and do homeworks that are more to the point, more skills based for what I'm trying to teach you. So that way we can have more focused lessons instead of like 900 things in a day. Hopefully we can get that down to like 2 or 3 skills that we'll learn and then practice, and you'll turn in your homework on it. Now, last point. A lot of folks are putting off the homework. I know that some of it's just because life is the way it is and we have to put it off and get to it later. And sometimes I'm worried that it's happening just because you're not worried about doing it on time. So not to paint everyone with the broad brush, but to make sure everyone is trying to do it on time, I want you to, starting today, start catching up on those homeworks. A lot of you have been telling me, yep, I'm catching up. And I saw over the weekend, a lot of people did homework as well. Failure to submit all current homework assignments by the end of the current unit will result in a parent-teacher-student meeting and possibly removal from the class. I want to make sure that you're in this class and you're trying to follow along. It's okay if you're not always on pace, but if I see you're working on it and you want to be here, then I want you here. But if I've got people in class who aren't really concerned with getting any of this done, that's not fair to the rest of the group who is trying to get it done. So I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, but I do need all these changes made, or else this is not gonna it's not gonna work. to go on the rest of the year like this. So, are there any other questions right now about my new rules, my new norms that I'd like to implement starting today? Any questions, clarifications, concerns, complaints? Please. It's okay. The floor is yours. No. Okay. Well, if you want to ask about it later, that's all good too. Let me just really quick stop my sharing. So, with all that in mind, can I have everyone else, Joseph, thank you. I saw you just turned it on. Can I have everyone turn on your cameras, please? High five to everyone who already has. Savannah, thank you. Maria, Anthony, you go. Awesome, dude. Chase, can I have your camera on, please? And then Baraket, Philmon, Robel, I know you guys have cameras. Can you turn those on for me? Victor and Billy, if you can hear me, can you turn on your camera? I am going to count these as basically an absence if I can't see you in class from now on. So it's nothing personal, but I just need us all on the same page. And here's another thing. I got my camera on, don't I? Every single day. And you get to see what my room looks like. And if I'm having a bad skin day, everyone knows about it. So, it's only fair that we all have our cameras on. Okay, Baraket, Philmon, Robel, can you turn on your cameras, please? And Billy, are you there? Can you turn on your camera? Okay. Well, thank you for telling me. I want to check in with you on this later so we can find a solution so that in the future you can have your camera on, okay? Because I do expect everyone to. Philmon, thank you, sir, for turning that on. Baraket and Robel, you guys want to stay today? Do you want to have your camera on? I'd love to have you stay, but if you won't turn on your camera, when you have access to it, then I am going to ask you to leave. So please turn it on. Thank you, Robel. Awesome. I like that punching bag. I need to get one too and get some muscles built up here for the winter. Baraket, you there with me, bud? I saw you earlier. You still there? Thank you to everybody who has turned it on. And Billy, thanks for letting me know about that reason. I am going to go ahead and say stay today, but I do want to work out a solution so we can have your camera on in the future. Okay, Billy? Baraket, are you there, bud? Baraket is probably taking a break. Everybody else, you're probably ready to move on. So what I'd like you all to do is to log into your Google using your school email. And I've got a sheet that kind of shows you how to do this. First off, does anyone not know how to log into Gmail or to Google using your school identity, your school Gmail? I can give you that information. I can private message you that so you can log in if you need it. And here's some directions on how to do it if you haven't done it. So in another tab, I want you to go to Google, just google.com. Then we need to sign in with your OFY email. And this is going to be 5 numbers. So for instance, this is a made up one, 87524. And then it's usually your first initial, I think. J, for me, it would be J Henderson. First initial, last name, at ofycharterschools.org. It's long. This is your OFY email. And if you need it, tell me so I can get it for you. All right. And let's see. When you're on Google, we want to go to the 9 Square app menu. That's this little section up here. So from Google, there's those little 9 dots. We want to click on that and then choose chat. You might have to scroll down to find it, but here's what it looks like, chat. Okay, once you've got chat opened, if you haven't already sent me a message through this, then you're going to have to like add me. So you're going to go on the left side of your screen in chat and go to this plus sign right here to like write a new chat message. And you want to type in my name or my email rather, josiahhenderson@ofy.org. Once you do it the first time today, it'll save it and it'll always recognize it. And all you got to do is like search for Josiah and it'll come right up if it's not at the top on the list. So you could send me homeworks through this chat. So some of you have already messaged me through this, so you're already set. I would like everybody who's here today, even if you've already messaged me before, to send me a message. Just say hi or something like that. So it opens up a line of communication, and then you'll be able to send me your pictures of homework in the future. So once I get a message from all of you, we'll be ready to move on. And if you're stuck on this, if you need help logging in or finding the chat app in Google or whatever it is, please let me know. Tell me what's up. I gotta end the show really quick. Awesome. Okay, cool. Let me mark you guys down. I'll use this as your attendance today. So I see Brooks. Thank you, Brooke. All right. I see Levi. Awesome. Thanks, Levi. I see Tira. All right. Anaya. Okay, cool. And Savannah. Thank you, Savannah. All right. Who else? Oh, that's that Maria Celeste. Thank you, Maria. Okay, so for the rest of you, are we having trouble logging in? Are we having trouble logging in? There's Chase. Thanks, Chase. It's no problem, honestly. If you've never done it before, I don't blame you. If you need help logging in, if you don't know your OFY email, that'll be an issue. You'll need that, obviously. So let's see. I don't have Robel. I don't have you yet, Robel. Do you need help, sir, logging into your Gmail?
What is it for what login?
For Google. So you go to Google, and then we're going to log in with your school Gmail. I'm pretty sure you've probably used it with Jamie before, or no? I'll show you, Robel. I'll show you. And this goes for all of you. If anyone's having trouble logging in, here's the process. Watch me. So let's see. I'm going to go to Google. Google.com. Okay, so we should get this. Mine's on dark mode. Maybe yours is white. Either way, though, it should look basically like this. Over here on the right side, everybody, my little picture is this Tonda, this geometric design here. So I click on that. Yours might be just your initials. Okay, maybe it's just your first letter or something. You click on that circle, and we want to log in or add another account, either way. So mine doesn't say log in or sign in. Mine says add another account because I'm already signed in. You need to click on the sign in, and then it should look kind of like this. Sign in. and you're going to type in your school email. And it's going to be something like this. 5 numbers, first letter of your name, and then all last name. And then it's at ofycharterschools.org. Okay, but this is just a made up one for example. So for you, if you don't know yours, let me know so I can quickly look that up and give it to you so you can get logged in. Any questions? There's nothing coming in the chat. Any questions?
Yeah, I can try, teacher. Okay.
You're trying now?
Yeah, I can try now.
Try now. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Is there any more that I missed? Anyone get a message into me? No one else knew. Okay. So I've got Chase. Thank you. I've got Savannah, Levi, Maria, Tira. I've got Anaya and Brooke. Robel's working on it. So how's everyone else doing? All right. Joseph, there we go. Okay. So let's see. Anthony and Philmon. Robel, I know you're trying it. Baraket. Joseph, you just got back in. And then Billy, I don't have messages from you yet. Does anyone need help logging in? Is that what we're getting stuck on? Let me know where you're at in this process. So I can
Yes, I
help.
do need help.
Philmon, what was that?
Yeah, I do need the help. Yeah, it doesn't work. I tried, but it doesn't work.
Okay. No worries. No worries. 1 second. Let me get your information. So I'm going to get you, Philmon, your school email. And then, Philmon, have you logged into Student Track and done attendance? You probably have. Does that sound familiar? Yes.
Yes, I do.
When you go to Student Track, that password is what you're going to use for this Gmail, okay? This Google account.
Okay.
And okay. Okay, so Philmon, let me start with you, and I'm going to send you in the chat for the video call here privately. I'll send you your
Okay.
yeah, I'll send you the your login. All right, let me see here. Okay, so when you get to Google Philmon, that's your username. That's like your account, your Gmail. It doesn't say Gmail, but trust me, it's a Gmail. Then your password is going to be your whatever you use for Student Track.
What are we doing anyways?
Anthony, is that you?
Yes.
Thank you for asking. What I'd like you all to do is just practice sending me a message through Google Chat in your OFY account. That's what we're doing.
Oh, I've been having that set like that for 3 months straight, so I was confused.
Totally. You've already done it before.
Yeah,
Then-
I've been doing this since first day.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome. I'm sure other students have too, just like that, but maybe you haven't sent me a message through it yet. So Anthony, can you message me through your Google Chat so it opens up a line of communication?
Yep.
Thank you, sir. And for Philmon and for all the rest of you, your password is going to be whatever you use in Student Track. Same as in Student Track. Okay. Now, if there's if we can't manage to get this done in the next few minutes, then I want to follow up with you later. So Philmon, anyone else I've missed? Joseph, Billy, anyone else I haven't gotten messages from? Oh, Billy, awesome. I see yours now. Billy's there. I'll be calling you later on the phone. okay, from school at this afternoon. So we can try to work this out and make sure that you can send me chats, okay? Because this is how I want you to send me your homework from now on. You're going to send me pictures of your homework that you do on paper through Google Chat. This way, it'll be easier for me, honestly, that it's all in the same place. So instead of some people sending it on Remind and some through email, you'll all be sending it through chat. And it's the easiest for me to access it that way. Okay, Anthony, do you need my email, Anthony, so you can send me a chat?
Oh no, I'm doing it right now.
Awesome. All right, and who's left? How about Joseph? Oh, Philmont, I thank you for showing me this. You don't have
Yeah,
access to
exactly.
this
That's already
service.
there.
That's weird. Philmont, do me a favor. Go to google.com. Start over for me, okay? Google.com.
Google.com.
Yes, sir. Google.com. Okay. Now go up to the 9 squares, top right of your screen.
Prior.
Yes. Yes, right there, down. No. The first thing. That's it. Yes, that's right there. Click that. And now see down below, chat. It's green, CHAT, chat. To the right. Up. To the right.
Oh, chat right there.
Good. Down. Right there, chat.
Okay, chat right here.
Click on that, please. Awesome. Okay, so I'm glad you haven't used it yet. I don't want the whole world to see your chats. So to send me a chat, just click that blue thing and get that out of there. Get that out of there. Get started. Yeah. All right, next. Yeah, just click through all that junk. It's all garbage. Okay, now to send a chat to anybody, what we want to do is click on the left side. There's a plus sign, like an adding sign. Okay, not that one. Close that, please. Sorry, we don't want that. To your left side of the screen. Okay, up. That next plus sign up. There we go.
Right.
Yes, start a chat, and now you're going to type in my name. So try Josiah Henderson. So JOS. Okay, keep going. IAH.
Right.
And there I am. That's me. So click on that. Oh, not that one. That's Josie. Josiah Henderson. There we go. Click on that, please. And now you should be able to send me a message. Just say, hi, Josiah, or something. Down at the bottom in the center, middle. Yeah, there we go. And then enter. And that'll send the message. Woohoo. Thank you. Any questions, Philmon?
So that's it.
That's it. The goal here is so that way now you'll send me your homework questions as a picture that you take on your phone through here. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm going to stop you from sharing.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That was helpful. Okay. I don't see any new messages in the chat, and I guess I've got everyone sent me a chat except for Joseph. Joseph, are you still there in the class, bud? Can you hear me? Joseph, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to send me a chat right now through Google Chat?
Like Classroom?
Like what?
Like Google Classroom?
Not Classroom, but it's in that same area where you would find Classroom is another app called Chat. It's basically just a messaging service from Google.
Josiah, did you see it?
I'm sure now.
Okay, thanks, Joseph. I would like everyone to use their school login, but if you're using your personal one, that's honestly probably fine too. I just want to make sure I know it's you and not some other random person in the world. You know what I mean?
Just
Is
had
it
it.
Sorry, guys, you're about the same times. For Anthony, no, I didn't get your message. Anthony, make sure you're here. I'll put my name again in the chat just in case. So this is going out in the school chat, or the Zoom chat rather. Here, here's my email: Josiah Henderson, ofy.org. My first name is Josiah, and if you type in Josiah, you should get it pop up with like the rest of it. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Joseph. You had a question.
Is it Google Workspace? That's where I be texting my teacher.
Oh, that's weird. Are you calling me on a computer, Joseph, or on a phone?
Oh, I'm on my phone right now.
Phone. Okay. Do me a favor and look at my screen real quick. I want to just share my screen with you again, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like for me. So here's regular old Google, right? We go to start with Google. And then if you go up here to the 9 dots, that's like a menu for all the apps. These will be arranged differently, Joseph, for all of us. But if you scroll down, you should find this one, chat.
Yeah, that's the one like that also.
Awesome. You used that already with your teacher?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So if you open up the chat, now you guys
Okay.
are gonna see my chat. If you've never messaged me before, then up here on the right, or on the left rather, you can add a new like person, basically. So start a chat, type in my name, and if you're logged in for your school stuff already, I should pop up. Josiah. That's not me, that's someone else. Josiah Henderson. And I've got my logo looks like this. It's that geometric tonda, like a
Yeah, I already got.
Middle Eastern geometric. Awesome. Okay, and I see you got me. Okay, cool. Write me a message, please, just to say hi, and that way it connects us. In the future, we're going to send in our homework questions through this chat. All right, I think that's everybody. Nice. I see now Joseph. I see you. I see Robel and Anthony. Awesome, Anthony. Thank you for doing that. And I didn't miss anybody. Joseph, Bearcat, and Robel. All right, All right, so I know this has taken a long time. I'm sure some of you are probably checking out because we've just been logging into this for an hour. I appreciate your patience and sticking through and following along and doing this for me. I really appreciate it. So with a few minutes left in class, let's do a little bit of practice now for our functions, okay? So last week, we started functions. Let's see, where are we? So,
Hi, teacher.
hi, thanks for coming back. All right,
Yeah.
everyone. So,
Sorry.
no, it's
My
okay.
charge-
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just glad you logged back in and came back. So folks, with the next 10, 15 minutes, let's take a little bit of notes and get some practice today in our functions. In function,
Do you see mine? I said,
yes, I did. I got yours. I got it. Thank you, Rubel.
yeah, no
I
problem.
marked you down. You're all good.
Yeah.
So let's please follow along. Let's do a couple examples together. And then tomorrow we're going to pick up where we left off, do more function work, and then we're going to start the inverse. And that'll be our last topic for this unit. So my goal is to have us reviewed and caught up with this unit by the end of this week, by Thursday. Okay? I'd like to be testing on Thursday. So today we're going to do some more function work, function notation, and for any new homeworks we do will just be questions on paper. You'll take a picture with your phone and then send it to me through the chat. Okay. So we're going to review how to evaluate a function. and then review how to use function notation. And we did start this on Wednesday, so it's not really new. We started it last week, but it's been a couple days since we've done it. Okay, so to begin, I want to practice just evaluating a function, okay? So please copy this down and then give it a shot. Evaluate the function when x is equal to 2. And then below that, we actually have the real function. The function is the equation y equals 3x minus 15. Now, maybe I should back it up a little more. Would anyone be willing to turn on their mic and tell me how we do this? What does it mean to evaluate the function? Any ideas what this means? How do I use the x is 2 together with my y equals equation at the bottom? Anyone have an idea or a suggestion, please?
Maybe adding something to both sides or subtracting.
Tira, I love where you're going with that. We do add to both sides or subtract to both sides when we're trying to solve an equation. However, if I start doing that now, I'm not really sure which one of these two letters, variables, y or x, I want to solve for, right? It's kind of confusing right now. I don't know which one I want to solve for. In fact, it already is solved for y. Notice how the y is all by itself. So it says y equals the rest of it, y equals 3x minus 15. Since it's solved for y already, and it doesn't say plug in x or plug in y, it just says evaluate when x is equal to 2, it is a little unclear. So what they mean in the math world when they say evaluate the function, it does mean solve for something like you said, Tira. But how can I use this x is equal to 2 in an equation below where there's already a y and an x like location? There's already a spot for y and x. Can I substitute this number? It says x is 2. So that means I can switch out any x I see in my function with that number 2. We're like picking a number to be 2, and then we'll start doing what Tira said and solve it for y. We'll combine like terms, we'll add stuff to both sides or subtract stuff to both sides to get y alone and find its value. So whenever you see evaluate the function, it means this. It means plug in a number for x. Usually it's always going to be for x. It may be a different variable, so we have to pay attention in the problem that they give you. This time we're plugging in a number for x, and then we solve for y. So evaluate is just a fancy way of saying plug in a number for x and solve it for y. So let's do that. Let's do that now. Y equals, it started as 3x minus 15, but now it's going to become 3 times, instead of 3 times x, 3 times 2 minus 15. So 3 times 2 is 6. Then we'll do the minus 15. Remember, we want to go back to that PEMDAS, order of operations. Since we have multiplication and subtraction in this problem so far, we'll do the multiplication first. So we get 6 minus 15, and this can be tricky. We're starting at positive 6, and we're going downward in the negatives 15 spaces.
Would it be -9?
Yes. Who was that? That was Tira?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tara. Yes, absolutely. How did you do? Can I ask you, how did you find out it was -9?
Because like, well, I basically like drew a number line, and I did 15 on both sides,
Okay.
and it was one was negative and one was positive, and I just counted out from 0.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So starting from +6, somewhere like right here-ish, you counted backwards 15 spaces?
Yes.
Very good. And that approach that you did will always work. So if anyone else is wondering how to do subtraction like this, a number minus a bigger number, it's a good idea to follow Tira's lead in how she approached this, starting from the number 6, going backwards 15 spaces. Now, in my number line that I started, I'm missing a bunch of stuff there. So I'll have to put in all those like numbers, right? So 6, 5, 4, 3. So it might take a second, right? No one said it's going to be fast. 2, 1, 0. Okay, so I've only counted back 6 so far. You would keep counting backwards. 15 total jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, the way I did it, I've got to label all these spots. Otherwise, I have no idea how far I am. So this is -1 or -2, -3. All right, and perfect. I landed on -9, just what Tira got. So this number
And
line.
another,
Oh, go ahead.
another to know the answer to is if the number in front of the bigger number is smaller
Then
than the bigger number. I don't know how to explain it, but
no, you're doing. I think I'm feeling what you're saying. If the number, the first one, the 6, is smaller than the bigger one and it's minus, that means our answer will be negative, right? It's like there's negative left over.
yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah, it's good.
Another approach that you can use for adding or subtracting positives or negatives, it works for all the cases, is doing like the battle. I think of this might be dated now, but I think of Lord of the Rings. You know, it's like the orcs and then the good guys, and they're running downhill and they've got their swords out and they all charge each other, right? So one side is the 6, the other side is the 15. Here's my +6. And then my -15 will have to be 15 minus signs. Now, of course, you don't want to do this for every problem, right? Because what if we have bigger numbers? But this does show like how it works. So now each plus sign and each minus sign cancel each other. Remember, because like +1 -1 is 0. So I'm going to cross out each like match, each pair, as these run downhill and battle each other. They each match of a plus and a minus become a 0. Until you run out of like one side, right? I've run out of my +6s. They're gone now. What's left over? You count up whatever's left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minuses. 9 negatives are left. So that means that's our answer. That's like what's left over after these battle it out, running downhill towards each other. Either way, whatever's helps most. I like what Tira did too. Maybe that's more on point. So this is an example of evaluating a function. Basically, folks, we are given an equation right here at the beginning, and we are going to plug in some number for x. They gave us the number to plug in above, 2. So we substitute or plugged in our 2 for x, and then we have to whittle it down one step at a time to find out what is y equal to when x was 2. So just to tie this together with what we've been doing last week, if we had a table here, look at the right side of my screen quick. We just did an input of x is equal to 2, and our output, our range number, oops, I can't spell, output. Okay, forgive that horrible spelling there. Output of -9. We plugged in 2, we got out -9. We only did that one input. Now let's look at it. It's almost time to go. Let's try one more example together. And we did a problem like this last week, and I think it caught a lot of people off guard. So, and this is taken just exactly from our mastery test. So I want you guys to be able to do problems like this for this unit. Find the range for the following domain values, and then a list, -12, -3, 0, 3, 12, and the function y equals 5/3 x plus 2. So you might be wondering, well, what the heck does this even want us to do? It's just like the last example. The only difference is now we have many inputs to choose from and to do, and we have got to find an output. Remember, output and range, same thing. Domain means input. And then they give us the actual function at the bottom. Excuse me. So we start with our function, y equals 5/3, a fraction, times x plus 2. We're going to one at a time plug in numbers from our domain list. So this is a list form that they gave it to us in, but you could also think of it as a table like we did a lot of work in with last week. So if I rewrote my list above as a table, it would look like this. -12 is going to be an input. -3 will be an input. 0, 3, and then 12. Those are our domain numbers, our inputs. We got to find a range to match up with all those inputs. How do we do that? We're going to plug in the numbers one at a time. Let's start with that -12. So this is a good problem because it helps us with our fraction work and with our evaluating functions or evaluating equations work. Okay, so 5/3 times x, our x is now going to become -12. Okay, now, some of you might be ahead of me already. If there's anyone who's already multiplied 5/3 times -12, would you be willing to share what you got for that? What did you get when you multiplied the fraction to the -12? And it's okay if no one has yet. So here's how we do that. If you're multiplying a fraction to a whole number, you can think about it as putting a 1 underneath the whole number. So our -12 turns into this. Y equals 5/3 times -12 over 1. And this can be helpful. So now it's like two fractions multiplied together instead of a whole number. Now, what you're going to do is multiply across the top and across the bottom. So that's 5 times 12 on top, 3 times 1 in the denominator, in the bottom. Oops, let me start that over. So 5 times 12 on top gets me, if you don't know it from times tables, that's okay. Use your calculator to find that. 5 times 12 gets me 60. And if one of those numbers is negative, then the answer is negative. So it's going to become -60 over 3 times 1, 3. So we have -60 over 3, or 60/3. And don't forget about that plus 2. That's still hanging out there. Okay, now this fraction. Before we start turning our whole number into a fraction to add it, check and see if your fraction can be simplified or reduced. Now, remember, a fraction like 60 over 3, that means 60 divided by 3. So check and see if you can do the division. 60 divided by 3. Does that come out to an even whole number?
Yes.
Yes. It's not always obvious, right? You might not see it or know it, but just try it anyways. Always give it a shot. So I don't know if 60 divided by 3 comes out to a whole number, so I'm going to check in my calculator. 60 divided by 3 comes out to 20. So I'm going to rewrite my 60 thirds as 20. Y is equal to negative 20 plus 2. And now I'm going to combine those together, just like our last problem. And look, it's a negative and a positive. So if I use my number line, like Tira did last time, I'm going to start with my negative 20, and I want to go up 2. Up here, up one more. So that would be negative 19, negative 18. So y is equal to negative 18. So it took us a hot minute, but we did do an input for x and we got an output for y. We have one number in our range now. So how would we finish this problem? Well, we've got to back up to the beginning. We go back to the very beginning of the function, how it started. That's like it's how do I say this? This y equals 5/3 x plus 2. It is the function. So all this work we just did, that was specific to when x is equal to negative 12. So to find the next input output, we're going to back up to the beginning and plug in negative 3 and find out what y is equal to when x is negative 3. And when we keep doing that, we should have a full list here of outputs. I keep spelling output totally wrong today. There we go. To match up with those inputs. We're almost out of time. So we're going to stop there. Are there any questions on those last two examples that we did, or anything at all, please?
I'm good.
You good? Okay. Thank you for letting me know. So here's what I'm going to ask you all do. Even if you didn't get everything written down that I asked or that I tried to lead with today, I'd like you to take a picture of your notes and send that to me through Google Chat. That's today's homework. Send me your notes of today through Google Chat. If you need help with that, let me know, and I'm happy to help you get that picture from your phone to Google Chat. Okay, I can help you figure out how to do that if you need any sort of hints. No big deal. It's what I'm here for.